Hey there, well welcome back to Mantic String Works, and we continue with the coolest bass in the world build, right? So we've fixed the tuners as best as we can, put the neck back on properly, wired the pickups to the controls, put the pickguard on. Now we have the bridge. So I've cleaned this bridge and I'll show you that video right now. Okay, well here's the bridge that my friend supplied, and it's pretty dirty and a little bit rusty. I think what I'll do is throw this into an ultrasonic cleaner. See if I take it all apart. Will it come apart? Okay, look at that. I thought maybe these things would be frozen in there, but they're not. That's good. It's a good sign. Yeah, I gotta pull them out. And these springs are really rusty too. I'll stick them in the ultrasonic cleaner and see what happens. I got it Christmas time, and I haven't used it yet, so I haven't really had the occasion to use it for any guitar stuff. Almost everything I've received in the shop is in good shape. Doesn't need this kind of work, so we shall see. I think just oiling it would help, of course. Yeah, that's not so bad when you take it out. It's just the head of it. So yeah, I'll take them all apart. Alright, well, into the bath you go. Well, here's the ultrasonic cleaner. It's up in the kitchen because we're testing it out with some jewelry. So you can set a temperature, which I've set to 50 degrees Celsius, 5 minutes. I'm going to take all these parts and just put them in there. So there's just a solution of water, a little bit of soap, and I think we had some baking soda in there for the jewelry. So I'm just going to put all these parts in. They're rusty more than anything. Now, of course, when you take them out, you can't just let them sit there because they will rust. So you dry them off, and then I spray them down with WD-40 right away. You can also use Evaporust too, which is cool. I thought it'd be fun to try this out, right? Okay, so it's going to come up to temperature. I'm going to turn this on. Okay, that did a really good job. Most of the rust has disappeared off the screws, the ends, everything's nice and shiny. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So it's going to use a little WD-40. So I know most people use it as a lubricant, right? But WD stands for water displacement. So the intent of this stuff is to, get any water out of your parts so they don't rust. Let's put a little bit in there. Shake it all around. There we go. Just let that soak for a little bit. I'll clean that off when I put it back together. Cool. Okay, you can see that the ultrasonic cleaning did a really good job. So I've put the screws and the springs and the saddles back in. I will confess I actually put the first one through here, and the second one I realized, hey, that doesn't make sense. They have to go up there, so just check that when you're working on it. So I'm just putting the set screws in, and I just wanted to point out, so these have been in the WD-40, so they're a little lubricated. set screws will have a flat end. It's hard to see, I'm sure, and then you have the end that you actually put your Allen wrench into, like that, right? In this case, it's a 1.5 millimeter. So the flat end goes on the bottom. So when you put these in, just make sure you're gentle in the sense that you don't cross-thread things, right? Just let it find its thread. There we go. Let's wipe off some of the excess WD. Again, find the flat side and just make sure you thread it in there nicely. Good. So once I have them all in, then I'll just take my Allen wrench and just get in there and just set them sort of flush with the top of the barrel of the saddle. That's usually what I like to do as a starting point. I mean, ideally that's where it would be when it's installed on the body, but that's why you have these adjustments, right? All right. So I think we're done with this bridge with these last couple of set screws. And the next time, oh, things are slippery now. The next time we see this bridge, it's going to be screwed into the body, hopefully. And I had mentioned in an earlier video that I'm a little concerned about the scale length and the way this body was cut away, so let's see how we can overcome that, if we can. I have a suspicion we're going to have to modify especially the fourth string, right, the E string. I won't be able to bring it back far enough, but we'll see. Okay, well, that's obviously looking a lot better than it did before. Alright, so now that you've seen that video, here it is. So the issue I'm concerned about is the scale length. So this is a fender scale, 34-inch scale, so 17 inches to the 12th fret. So that's from the face of the nut to the 12th fret, and then 34 inches to the first string, right, which is the G string on the bass. And then the saddles go back from there. So as you can see, we've lost some of this precision body here, and I'm worried that the bridge placement, we don't have enough room now. It's hard to see with the glare. There are some marks, like right there. I push down my finger. That, I believe, is a screw hole. So there's another one here. There should be one here. Right there. You can just sort of see it. Another one there. So this might work. Let me check the length here. Looks kind of crazy with the the hex screws here. Threaded inserts sort of sticking up like that. Okay. Alright, so 34 inches. So if you take a tape measure or a rule, and I'm going to put it down so that 34 inches is right in the middle of the saddle right there, takeaway point. And what I need is about a ½ inch more for the fourth string, at least, maybe a little more than that. So here I only have about 3/8. I'd like to see a little more than that. Of course, I can move this up and down, but more importantly, if I sight those holes, I think I can see them a little better. Sort of by rubbing them, you know, just like rubbing a piece of paper, right? Let me put it here. Should be right about here. These two are definitely there. I can see them. And then that one's going to be there. So if I put them over the holes, And I measure the 34. Yeah, I think we're good. So I'm going to locate those holes and then screw this down and then see how we go. I have to apologize a little bit. This gold foil paint job is really playing havoc with the lighting in here in the shop. So I can just, like I said, I can just see the holes. There we go. Of course, what I haven't allowed for yet is the bridge ground. So I have to find that somewhere where that is too. Oh yeah. Okay. Alright, so that's where that should live. I think if I poke down here, it's probably going to find its spot. Okay, I can see a hole right here. Yep. Should be one right here too. Yep, there we go. Okay. Those are the holes under that paint. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now what I have to find is a way to get that ground wire up here, which I actually didn't see there. Gotta take this off now. Damn! Alright. Okay, well there's no getting around it. I'm gonna need to scratch away a little bit. I think this might be the spot right here. Yeah. I can just see a depression here. I think I found the hole here. There we go. That should be it. Not too worried about the paint because it's under the, it'll be all under the bridge, right? Okay, well, see what we can do with that. Ah, look what I found. Okay, well, I don't want to pull that out. It must be in the body because it wasn't laying around. Alright. Okay, well I've taken the pick guard screws out. And we're going to look for, well, would you look at that? There is a ground wire there. It was hiding. It was all scrunched up under there. That's why. Okay. Well, that's good. So we have a ground wire. I'll pull this through. And we need to solder that to the back of a pot to ground it. Which one do I want? This one. Okay. Can I reach that one? Yeah, that should be good. Alright, I'll solder that to the back of the tone pot. And then here, I want to expose a little more wire. I can fan that out a little bit. And I'll use some tape, as well, conductive tape as well. Alright, I'll heat up that soldering iron and we'll get this set up. So with this ground wire under the bridge, you want it to contact the underside of the bridge, right? So what I'm going to do here is use some tape. This is aluminum foil tape, which is conductive. I'm going to fan this out a little bit, these wires, and I'm going to tape them right there. So that's going to do a couple of things. It's going to hold the wire in place so it can't pull it back. And it's going to help make it conductive by touching the back of the bridge there. There we go. Alright, so I'll just put another blob right here instead of heating up the one that's already on there. Tin the end of the wire. Don't breathe that in. There's a little closer. Get that in there. Good. Okay, ground connection done. Let me screw this back on. Alright, I've got some screws here for the bridge, so I'm just going to lightly sort of get these going. Then I'll finish them up by hand. It really looks like it's going to line up, so it's pretty good. This finish is crackling and bubbling under there, though. I'll bring you in under here too, though. This means the bridge is hanging over the back, which, you know, it's not ideal, I guess, but we'll have to do if we want to be able to intonate this thing. Alright, well, let me get a hand screwdriver onto these things. We'll have a look at it. Okay, well, the bridge is on nicely. It's tight. But look here. I'll show you. I think you can see there, right? It's overhanging. It's kind of strange, huh? It's not ideal. I definitely would rather have it flat, the whole thing flat on the body, but it's pretty solid. And again, to get the 34-inch intonation length, we sort of have to be there. Okay, well, the bridge is on. The next step is to put some strings and set this thing up. So stay tuned and we'll see if the coolest bass ever can actually be set up or not. Alright, take care.